I like that. That's a good one. So up next is gonna be Tami.
So, first thing, I just want to say this artwork is really amazing. So I was really impressed by that. Just wanted to tell you. And I kind of pride myself on being a nerd. So this poem is my nerd poem for y'all. Dear Mathematics, I remember when we fell in love, you were magic squiggles on my sister's homework. You were the quantifying factor in how many cookies I could have. I didn't know you'd be such an addition to my life. I didn't know you'd multiply my joy. With you, average meant something different than ordinary. You gave me a third meaning to the word mean. You gave me subtraction, where takeaway didn't just belong to restaurants, it belonged to me. Being odd wasn't such a bad thing anymore, not when the alternative was being even. Even became a better word. It wasn't an eye for an eye anymore, it was balance. Two's lifelong love affair, it was even better than odd sometimes. Prime became more than cuts of beef, more than Optimus's last name. It became the series by which I understood that sometimes it's important to be so strong and independent that nothing can divide you. You also gave me pet peeves, though. Now my nerves grate every time someone says they made a full 360 when they turned their life around. That's one entire revolution, people. It means you ended up in the exact same place you started. What you mean is a 180. From you, dear math, I learned 2 negatives can actually make a positive during multiplication, division, and subtraction. Only addition makes a negative more negative, which is exactly how my mother viewed my mathematical perspective to her logic that retaliating against my little brother wasn't going to make things right. She figured we were adding 2 negatives together. In my mind, my negative would subtract his equivalent negative, which would actually make 0. By the time I was done explaining why I should be allowed to punch him, I was so pleased with myself I had geeked away my violent tendencies. Oh, math. You helped me understand why frequency is just as important as duration. Sine became more than just the way I figured out which horoscope to read. Cosine wasn't just the way I would buy my first car, and tangent wasn't just what someone went on when I wished they would shut up. Thanks to you, I am not being robbed at bank point by the credit card burglars with the weapon of compound interest. Thanks to your probability, I know why roulette is a rich man's game and craps is a smart man's game. Dearest math, I love your grid systems for foreign neighborhoods. I love the concept of appreciation, a numerical formula for understanding how one can value something more over time. You are an appreciated asset I will never sell or trade. You are both metric and standard, the jump from 2 dimensions to 3. You are doubled and tripled recipes, the way we figure out what's fair, the way we mark time, the way we count down to births, graduations, and homecomings. You are how I know a hexagon is 6-sided, an octagon is 8-sided, and pentagons are more than military headquarters. You are one of my first loves, an integral part of my life. You share an honorary spot with language. Though the 2 of you abandoned me the other day. When doing math homework, my nephew asked how many times he would actually use you. He asked me while sitting at a computer whose very logic is grounded in numbers, inside a house not falling down around his ears thanks to architectural mathematics, next to a right-angle framed picture of Leonardo da Vinci's symmetrical, proportional Vitruvian Man. While inane technopop with a 4/4 time pumped through the speakers, I was speechless for a moment. The answer to his question about how many times he would use math is not a number. There is no real way to quantify countless.
Thank you, Tami. I liked how you put the little mathematical aspect into that. That was really nice. Thank you.